Bonjour, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, MM Trying to Learn French. This is your host, Mawad Mansour, or MM for short. In today's lesson number 2, we are going through the alphabet, the French alphabet, l'alphabet français. I have already uploaded the song, the alphabet song for kids in French. It's a very nice one, and you'll find it in my YouTube channel under the shorts, like the short videos. It's actually one part. It should be like one video or one file, but I had to split it into two because I wasn't sure about the copyrights. So anything under 1 minute should be on the safe side. So you'll find it at my YouTube channel under shorts. I'll also put the link underneath this video. I think the logic here is obvious. Why we start with the alphabet, then we go to words or vocabulary. Then, for example, we go to grammar and etc. etc. Then you start building the sentences and the expressions. I think the logic here is clear, but just to be sure, everyone on the same page, the word is made of letters. Like the building blocks of any language is letters. So letters become words, words become sentences, and sentences, of course, become expression or paragraph, etc. So we are starting with the alphabet now. We want to make sure we get the basics before we go to the next level. However, once in a while, it's recommended, and I find it interesting to check once in a while and try to learn a few vocabulary in the language you want to learn, in this case, the French. And you might be surprised, especially with the relationship between French and English, you might be surprised there are many words in common. Maybe I mentioned that before, but also you might be surprised how many words you already know in French. Let me give you an example. For example, the word oui. In French, the word oui is, of course, the word yes in English, so you know that already. You should know it, I guess. And the word pardon in French, which is basically pardon or sorry, just as a question. So sorry as a question, and pardon in French is the same. So you already know these words. They are simple, like you expect most people to know it, at least most of the English speakers to know it. But the point is, you already know some. This is kind of encouraging, that makes you feel better about yourself, and you think that it's easier than what you think to learn more vocabulary. However, don't get too confident, because some of the words, they have similar spelling, maybe close pronunciation, but the difference is in the meaning. You'll find in some books there's a warning: don't use this French vocabulary as equivalent to the English word with the same spelling, because it has a different meaning. Same goes the other way, so from English to French. One last word is merci. Merci, you probably know it. Merci, thank you. So I encourage you once in a while to jump here and there and find a new word. With time, you will realize you have built a nice memory of vocabulary. I will be reading from the textbook French from Wikibooks, page 8. You will find the textbook online for free. I have actually posted about this on YouTube in the past. I will put you the link under the video for the post. You can get the information you need on how to get the textbook and download it as a PDF. On this page, they will show you the letter in English and the pronunciation, of course, in both languages, and the equivalent or the name in French in IPA transcription. Okay, with nothing further to do, let's jump to the alphabet, the French alphabet, l'alphabet français, and we'll start with A. So in English, A is in French, A. So A in English is A in French. Next, B in English is B in French. B is B. Next, C in English is C in French. C is C. Next, D in English is D in French. D is D. Next, E in English is U in French. This is kind of tricky. Just pay attention to this one. E in English is U in French. Next, F in English is F in French. Very close. So F is F. Next, G in English is G in French. G, like in the sound measure. G. So G is G. Next, H in English is H in French. H. So H in English is H in French. Next, I in English is E in French. E. So I in English is E in French, like in the word team. E. Team. So I in English is E in French. Don't confuse that with the E in English, which is U in French. Next, J in English is J in French. So it's again the sound just like the sound in measure, like the S in measure. J, J. So J in English is J in French, whereas G in English, we just covered that. G in English is J. You get the same sound, but it's a different letter. So the G in English is J in French, and the J in English is J in French. Next, K is K. K in English is K in French. Next, L in English is L in French, very close. Next, M in English is M in French, also very close. Next, N in English is N in French. N is N. Next, O in English is O in French. O. So O in English is O in French. Next is P in English, equivalent to P in French. So P in English is P in French. Next, Q in English is Q in French. Q. So it's not exactly the same, but it's very close. Q in English is Q in French. Next, R in English is R. R in French. So R in English is R in French. Here in the textbook it says force air through the back of your throat near the position of gargling, but sounding soft. So R is air. Next, S in English is S in French, very, very close. S is S. Next, T in English is T in French, T. Next, U in English is U in French, U. Next, V in English is V in French, V. So V is V. Next, W in English is W in French. This is kind of interesting because if you think of W in English, it is like two of the letters V put next to each other. So a V and V, if you put them close together, it becomes VV, like double V. This is one way to remember W. So in French, the W is W, W. Also, even in English, if you think about it, in English it's called double U, double U. So it's kind of two U's or two of the letter U put next to each other. U and U, W. In French, it's V and V, W. So this is a hint in case you forgot. Next, X in English is X in French. X in English is X in French. Next, in second last is Y in English. Y in English is equivalent to Y in French. This is the only letter I can tell completely different than English. Y. So Y in English is Y in French. Y is Y. Last, of course, is Z or Z, depending on whether it's American or British. So Z, let's go with Z. In English is Z in French, almost exactly the same. Z in English is Z in French. All right, that concludes the alphabet. We have covered the whole alphabet in one video, which is nice. I will leave you now with one word in French, means goodbye. It's actually two words, means goodbye, au revoir, au revoir. These are two words. So goodbye, au revoir.